Hello everybody, welcome to That's Football. Well, the transfer window may not have been the window we thought it was going to be, but right at the last knockings, we've had a deal we never would have expected. Raheem Sterling to Arsenal. Is it loan? Is it permanent? Is it obligation to buy? It doesn't really matter. What do you actually think about this deal? Because as a Man United fan, we were being offered this as part of the Jadon Sancho deal, which he has done with a loan with obligation to Chelsea. I was dead against it. I didn't want Sterling at Manchester United. But how can I say it's not a bad deal for Arsenal, but it would have been a bad deal for Manchester United? Well, I think it's really, really simple. Arsenal fans get in the comments, everyone else get in the comments, but let us know what you thought about the transfer window in general, actually, because I think really, bar a few clubs, it was a little bit flat. Liverpool doing next to nothing. Man City not really doing a hell of a much. And Arsenal didn't do that much, but then have still brought in Sterling, Marino, Calafiori. So they've gone, again, attack, midfield, defence. The reason I think that this is a good signing for Arsenal and a bad signing for Manchester United is really, really simple. Arsenal, for the last 2 years, have been very close to the title. Last season, they were 2 points away from the title. When you are a team that's 2 points away from the title, you're pretty much there. You're pretty much a good side that's ready to go. And when you are that team, you've baked the cake and you're just icing the top. And I think with Arsenal, you can afford, and look, Chelsea are desperate to get rid of Sterling, so you're not spending 100 million. You're not spending much at all. And Raheem Sterling, who has played with Arteta before and is experienced, comes into an Arsenal side and just offers something better than nothing. And it's low risk. And if it doesn't work out, you've still got the core of players that got you close to a title before. So you're going from 2 points off the title. Sterling comes in. If he doesn't work, you're still 2 points off the title. If he does work, you might be closer to the title. So I think from an Arsenal point of view, you've already baked the cake. It's a bit of icing. If you don't like the flavour of it, it doesn't really matter. For Manchester United, you finish 8th. You're a long way off the title. You bring Raheem Sterling in, he's really got to be used. He's got to be involved. And if he isn't involved and he's on the bench, he might not be happy. And, I've had problems with people like that before. So suddenly the risk on Sterling is probably not worth the risk, because it's like we're not the finished article and we're bringing a player that, if he doesn't work, could make things worse. Whereas at Arsenal, we are pretty much nearly there. And with Sterling, it doesn't really massively matter either way. But also, Arteta's worked with Sterling before, so you've got that relationship and trust, which means it's probably not going to fall apart. So I think that, for me, is quite simply why I would say I think it's not a bad deal for Arsenal. And it will be a loan move, of course, so they can send him back. And Chelsea, yeah, look, I think a lot of Arsenal fans were probably not expecting this. I remember Arteta saying, a week ago, was really glowingly talking about Sterling, saying, lovely guy, really like him, got a lot of time for him. But it never felt like they were actually going to do a deal for him. And lo and behold, they have. So, look, Raheem Sterling, at his best, probably doesn't start for Arsenal. But Raheem Sterling on the bench probably swallows it more than he does at Man United. If Raheem Sterling goes to Man United, he probably looks at Garnacho and Ahmad and goes, well, I'm more experienced than them. They're just kids. I should play ahead of them. Whereas if he goes to Arsenal, he's going to a team that's just fought for the title, and he's got Saka, Martinelli, Trossard, and he probably looks at it and goes, I've got to work for my place here. And that's no disrespect to Garnacho and Ahmad, who I prefer to Sterling. But again, it's that whole 8th against a team that's been in a title race. Sterling can't go into Arsenal and be Big Bollocks and demand that he's playing or anything like that. But if he comes into United, there's more chance of things going wrong. It's not what United need. United don't need that type of player. But Arsenal can manage that type of player because they're already established. And if they bring Sterling in and he's just happy, and also he's in London, Chelsea, Arsenal, no moving is there. He's already there. No disruption. If you bring Sterling in and he's happy to, fight for his place off the bench and work with Arteta again and stay in London, It just makes a lot of sense, and it's a loan. You can send him back if it doesn't work. Whereas for United, it was more about swapping for Sancho, permanency, just felt a bit wrong. But look, it's your typical transfer deadline day deal that nobody saw coming, that actually you look at it and you go, I don't really see why it's bad for Sterling, and I don't really see why it's bad for Arsenal. And actually, if it doesn't work out, you lose nothing. And if it does work out, people go, well, that was a great bit of business. And it's a little bit like, I've spent a lot of time today trying to get my head around why Man United have let Sancho go to Chelsea, because it's risky. Sancho's got a point to prove. He doesn't like United. He wants to prove they got it wrong, and he's going to go to Chelsea, and we're both fighting for fourth. And if Chelsea get fourth with a good Jadon Sancho, we look like mugs. We look stupid. But then you've got the same thing going on with Arsenal. If Raheem Sterling goes to Arsenal with a point to prove because Chelsea completely throws him out. You know, Raheem Sterling had that statement, didn't he, before the game a couple of weeks ago from his team. We don't understand why. Raheem's had a really good pre-season. He's been left out. It's disrespectful, whatever you want to call it. Chelsea send him to Arsenal. All right, Chelsea might look at Arsenal and go, well, they're above us anyway. We don't care. So it's not really about Arsenal finishing above Chelsea, because you would expect that. But if Raheem Sterling goes to Arsenal and plays really, really well, it makes Chelsea look really, really stupid because they've loaned him to Arsenal. Like, all Arsenal are doing is paying his wages. They've loaned him to Arsenal. They're not getting any money for it. And there's Raheem Sterling tearing it up for Arsenal, playing in the Champions League and you know, fighting for a Premier League title. So have we seen a change? Even today, have we seen a change in the Premier League where rivals are now giving players to other clubs? We've seen Pep do it. And we talk about Pep being the architect of modern football. I'm not necessarily a big fan of it. You know, we don't get a lot of individualism. We don't get a lot of long-range shots anymore because it's the way Pep plays and everyone copies it. But Pep gave Sterling to Chelsea. Pep gave Jesus and Zinchenko to Arsenal. Pep let Cole Palmer go to Chelsea. Pep doesn't really care about rivalry because he's like, I don't care if you go and play well. Cole Palmer's playing well at Chelsea, but I've won the title. So who's the real winner here? And now we're starting to see other clubs follow that as well. Yeah, let Chelsea have Sancho. Yeah, let Arsenal have Sterling. You know, maybe that old rivalry thing is dying because clubs are sort of like going, don't really care. Don't really care if they go and do really well. Not really bothered. Interesting one. Let us know your comments below. Raheem Sterling to Arsenal. It's here we go. It's a loan deal. He will be playing for Arsenal this season. He's Arsenal, Liverpool, Man City, Chelsea. He's only got to do Spurs and United, and he's done the traditional top six. Still got time, Raheem. Still got time. Get your comments in. Make sure you smash a like on the video and subscribe. Thanks everyone who's been part of the That's Football this summer transfer window, but it doesn't stop. We're back tomorrow. Man City, West Ham is our featured game, and we will be reacting to everything else as well. So make sure you smash a like, get your comment in, and subscribe. Take care, everyone.